probably the most important number to know, and probably the least understood, is you want to know your customer's lifetime value. And it's not easy to know. You really, and it's just the way a lot of the systems are set up. You can always know what your customer is worth internally to you. So if you have, a direct response online, you usually have somebody's email address. So if you have my email address, you can then go look up all the orders from that email address, and now you know how much I was worth over the life of my relationship with you.
It's called lifetime value, or short LTV, but really you've got different days of, it's like 14-day LTV. It's like at 14 days, what are they worth? At day 0, what are they worth? At 30 days, and you can keep going out as far as you have data for.
Yeah, you definitely want to break it down by days, because when you're buying advertising and you're spending money, you're often spending money right now to make it back at some future period. You guys are comfortable at breaking even around 14 days. I have clients who are comfortable breaking even 6 months later, right? But in order to be comfortable breaking even 6 months later, or even 14 days later, you have to know what that customer's worth in those time periods, right?
Yeah, what would happen if you didn't know? So let's say we didn't know our 14-day LTV and we were spending all this money on Facebook ads. What could happen?
You could absolutely go bankrupt.
Exactly.
You don't know. You might go to Las Vegas and put it all on black. I mean, it's kind of the same thing. You're gambling at that point. So
we've had the example of knowing your numbers. I actually heard Joel give a talk on this, Joel Marion, and he said, if you were to give me a $5 bill and I promised you that in 90 days I would give you back a $10 bill for every $5 you gave me today, how many $5 bills would you give me if you were guaranteed to know that I'd give you a $10 bill in 90 days? That's going in the whole 90 days, but you have to know your numbers. You have to be positive and guaranteed that in 90 days it's going to be worth more. So whatever you spend on, your customer, which sounds strange, when you sell something on the internet, you would think that you make money and you're profitable. And in a lot of industries and products, that is the case. You make some money, but you also acquire a customer that then you can sell other products and services to, either your own or others. So it's kind of funny to think that you're actually going to lose money selling your products, but you have to know at what time will that person become profitable that you will be making money on them. And then it's a comfort zone thing. Like, how deep do you want to go before it's just too, I guess everyone's got a different threshold, right?
Oh, absolutely. Well, and even in brick and mortar, it's not just online, right? So this morning I got a text from Jersey Mike's, right? And I'm a member of whatever their loyalty program is, but the point is they have a loyalty program, right? They know that they're going to pay rent on their store. That's like buying advertising. You're paying rent, you're going to buy advertising as a brick and mortar. So they have to not only bring in new customers, but they have to have their customers come back and buy more and more. And, that's them reminding me to come back and buy more and more is huge, right? They're increasing their customers' lifetime value because they know that they know that is the key to the entire operation. So whether you're online or you're in brick and mortar, it's increasing your customer value over time. That is really what's going to drive large scale growth.
And then there's loss leaders at retail stores too, where they put things on sale where they lose money on that item. But then once you're in the store, they know you're going to buy other things that are profitable. So same thing online.
Oh, absolutely.
We might be losing money on our main product, but that feeds the whole ecosystem. Then you get access to these customers, and then you've got a lot of other things you can offer them.
Absolutely. I interned in college for a small office supply company. And I learned then, even in college, that, you compete with the big boys on paper clips. I can give away paper clips all day long. It costs 50 cents for a box of paper clips. I pay 75. It costs 50 cents. I'll sell it for a penny all day long if I can get a contract. Right. So I'm going to lose 49 cents a box of paper clips all day, because I know that the value of that contract is going to be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, I mean, Yeah, it's the same online. It's the same offline. As long as we like to all think it's a little bit different, but it's just a different type of store, really, at the end of the day.
Yeah, kind of circling back to what you said about the grind, which I do think a lot of entrepreneurs enjoy it because it's that shiny object thing where we get passionate about something, we love to create and build, and we'll make a product and then test it real quick. And then if it's not really doing that good, we start brainstorming, thinking of the next thing and just hopping to the next product. Where if we would have stuck with one thing and just kept optimizing it, working on it, improving it, and really focusing on that one thing for longer, I mean, as long as it's got some legs and shows some potential. If it's just complete trash, move on. But I think it's tough for entrepreneurs to kind of stay focused and like really look at the numbers and focus on them, run the tests, and just stay the course. I mean, what kind of suggestions did you have for most entrepreneurs? It seems like they just want to keep moving on to the next thing, but they don't really stay with their winners.
So what I would say is for entrepreneurs, and I'm an entrepreneur. I like shiny objects too. I buy a lot of courses. I'm still interested in one day, having a fitness product. It's the interest itself has never left me. But ultimately, you have to figure out, and this is kind of where I draw the line. And I know Mike knows this fairly well. I got into entrepreneurship for really two reasons. One, I coach baseball, right? I have two kids. Love baseball. I love coaching them. I love spending time with them. Entrepreneurship itself allows me to do that. So I have to remember why I got into it, because I will sometimes end up working till midnight, 1 o'clock, because I get lost in a problem, which, is the adrenaline rush for an analytics guy. I got an analytics problem to solve. I'm working on this massive database. It gives me a rush. At the same time, so to spending time with the kids. I also got into it because I'm just a little bit lazy. It's kind of this weird dichotomy where I will get lost in a problem and I will get that adrenaline rush from solving the problem. But at the same time, I really want to do it from the beach in Jamaica. And so if I keep jumping from thing to thing, and keep having to grow something new, I don't ever really have time to do those things. So you have to, one, keep focused on why you got into entrepreneurship to start with. The second thing I would say is, while you're growing one thing, that doesn't mean you can't tweak and test and do other things. We'll go back to the example I just used with you, Mike. If you weren't patient in growing a business, you wouldn't have time to do a podcast. You wouldn't have time to do all of the things that you want to do. You do a lot of fun things, right? I know you've gone to Jamaica, and you and I both have the ability to work from wherever we are. And, you don't have to stop with the adrenaline rush of creating new things. You just have to stop throwing away the things that have promise, and you have to carve out time to go back and really look and understand those numbers and see what you can tweak and test. And especially, for people that like to create products, the upsell flow is a great place to tweak and test stuff, because who knows what's going to work in an upsell flow. I mean, we have a basic formula that I like to give people that, you mentioned Joel, that I'm pretty sure I learned from Joel, but you can test stuff there while you're growing your front end business. And so, there's always ways to keep that excitement going while you're focusing on your core business. And then maybe one of those things that you're playing with becomes your core business. Maybe it catches fire and it becomes bigger. But, ultimately, you have to remember why you wanted to be an entrepreneur to start with. And, yes. And really it's freedom. At the end of the day, figure out what your freedom is and focus on that. And knowing your numbers is going to get you to that freedom way faster.
Yeah. And to get that freedom, you got to focus on the thing that's working while it might not last forever. So it's always good to have one or two things in the works, but just don't take your eye off the ball and get totally sidetracked with that. You got to do them at the same time, and don't do too many things where you drop all the balls.
Right. I've done that myself, and I know that you probably have at one point in your career or another as well.